Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is perhaps the best of the recent Master Control family from Jaeger-LeCoultre. What became the Master Control series started in 1992 with a watch that was at the time called the Master Grand Thai, and it went through the 1,000 hours control, a 41.6 day comprehensive battery of chronometry, but also of durability, evaluating the fully assembled watch. Over the years, Master Control as a test became a standard for all Jaeger-LeCoultre watches except oddities like the caliber 101 micro movement. And in 2013, the Master Control series was redesigned with finer lug profiles, thinner cases, and as the Master Ultra Thin series, we gained a number of complications. So, launched in 2013, this example retailed in 2015, we have the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin Perpetual. Very similar to the Dr. Strange. I believe he had a steel boutique edition. This watch is white gold with a granular dial and blackened hands and indices. Master Ultra Thin, 39 millimeters in diameter in gray gold, which is a white that never needs to be rhodium plated, 9.3 millimeters thick, 45.9 from lug to lug with a 21 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. We have a watch that's easy to wear, comfortable and handsome, versatile. It's an all-arounder, though a dress watch to be sure. It's not something that you would feel uncomfortable wearing with short sleeves or boat shorts. On the wrist, you can see my wrist, 16 centimeters circumference, wears it well. It would wear easily on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference and slide effortlessly under a cuff. Even if a woman wants a man's watch, this would be a good option. Now, I say 14 centimeter wrist, but 13 and a half might even work if your wrist is very flat across the top. And again, very, very flat, easily clearing a tight sleeve. We have a strap here, which is a JLC factory strap, calf on the bottom, gator on the top, distressed grain, black semi-gloss. We have large, medium, and small rectangular scales. We have a monotone stitch, a sheer cut side lacquered for refinement. We also have a simple matching white gold or gray gold Jaeger-LeCoultre pin buckle. The case band is beautiful. Although JLC complications were good value in the 2000s, many of them were massive, and the arrival of the Master Ultra Thins in the beginning of the 2010s really heralded a return to smaller and more graceful case forms that JLC had known in the 90s. So we have a little bit of a soft bevel expanding on the outside of the lug. It's a very fine, thin lug blended into the case band. You can see everything's in high polish. We have a bezel that's somewhat stepped in from the case band to visually thin it, with a vertical lip, a conical profile, and then a final vertical lip abutting the lightly cambered sapphire. We have the JL logo on the crown, and then we have a little pusher adjuster. This is the IWC Kurt Klaus Perpetual Calendar System, mechanically programmed so that you only need one point of adjustment. If you press this 4 times, everything moves in sync. Day, date, month, moon phase, even the year and the decade if necessary. We've also got a hacking function. Stop the seconds hand, set it to a reference time. You may ask, why does IWC use a quick set in the crown and JLC uses a pusher adjuster? JLC has strong opinions about this. They believe that if you put it in the crown, it's too easy when you're setting the watch or winding the watch to accidentally put the crown in the setting position for the calendar, and the one on the IWC is geared very high, so just a few turns can rocket you forward a month or two. And so the idea is, for the sake of setting precision and to avoid an error, because the calendar can only be set in one direction, not backwards, move the setting system to a pusher adjuster externally. You can see that this one features a little bit of evidence of use, so always full disclosure in terms of condition of a pre-owned watch. 50 meters water resistant, it's a lot. It's more than a dress watch standard 30, but keep in mind that I still don't recommend you submerge this watch. It's just a little bit more margin of error, or I should say margin of safety. The dial is lovely. You can see we have a granular base, which is something JLC did to great effect back in the 2010s. We have white gold hands and indices, but they've been blackened, faceted applique for the dial, and then we have faceted extended Dauphine style hands for the hours and minutes with a blued Lancet style counterweighted seconds hand. We have registers for the day, the date, the month, And we don't have a leap year indicator because we have an actual year indicator. So you just have to keep in mind that the Summer Olympics year is always the leap year. So it can manually, or I should say, it can automatically, under its own power, turn the year and the decade. But if you need to move the century, there's a little slide internally that can be displaced, and then there are additional slides that the watchmaker can fit for subsequent centuries. We have a little window right here because there is a danger zone when setting this perpetual calendar. There are times at night when you do not want to attempt to use this little pusher on the side to set the calendar, and you can see how as night falls, it's not specifically an AM PM indicator. What it is a danger zone indicator. So you can see how that window is filling up as we approach midnight, and it is not safe to use the pusher or case flank calendar adjuster until that window is entirely clear. You just saw the jump. And now as we roll past really 4 a.m., everything's sort of safe. I always say just roll through the date change and then take it to 6:30 in the morning before you set any calendars, and then you know you're safe. So perpetual calendar, no need to reset for irregular length months or leap years. It's good until the year 2100. We have a moon phase that has a reset interval of 122 years. So yes, it's a bit out of sync with the perpetual calendar, but that's kind of academic. It's going to be a while until the year 2100, and this has to be reset at the factory. 4 hertz beat rate, 28,800 vibrations per hour. We talked about the Master 1000 hours control, and of course it's advertised on the back. 41.6 day test of the fully assembled watch for, yes, chronometry, typically -1 + 6 seconds for these basic master movements. Water resistance, winding efficiency, power reserve, durability. It's a test of the full watch. Remember, COSC is a bare movement only for chronometry and then only for 2 weeks. So this is more comprehensive. This is a caliber 868, which is basically a JLC 899 with the Kurt Klaus module on top. I believe JLC builds the perpetual calendar, but they use the IWC architecture. Now, the base movement here is from a time when JLC wasn't pinching pennies. So we have 2 things that would later disappear. One is an explicit promise that this is a 6-position adjustment. That's how the test was run, and 6 positions is 1 more than a standard high horology watch like a Vacheron or a Longa. Those are 5 positions. It's also 1 more than a standard chronometer test. So at ISO 3159 is going to be to 5 positions. This is to 6. Also, the rotor, you can see the mass is 22 carats. Later it would be less. 22 is better because it's more massive. It winds more efficiently. You can see this is a unidirectional winding system, that it has ceramic bearings. Those 2 features in tandem make for very efficient winding. It is a 4 hertz free sprung balance, which you can see here with KIF shock protection, sort of a boutique-y lower volume alternative to Inca block. And if I were to stop everything, you can see there are pairs of screws on the balance rim that move in and out. Not only do they allow for very precise adjustment, but they also allow for greater shock tolerance, since a shock to the watch can't change the regulation the way it can with a mobile stud index regulator. 40-hour power reserve. We do have a medley of hand finishing and mechanical finishing here. And while at a JLC price point, it certainly weighs more heavily on the mechanical side, there are artisanal elements here, and the screws are all fire blued. So still a beautiful movement from a company well known for its calibers. 46 joules and still quite thin in spite of the fact that it is modular. I believe it's just over 4 millimeters thick in terms of the module and the base. So if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.